So I want you to consider as you're coming up with some new ideas and ways to serve your own communities. Remember that as you teach, you also learn. And I am here to learn today from our guest, Dotty Scott. I am so grateful that she's here. This morning, Dottie's doing what she's meant to do. I asked Dottie to come today because I see so many people who spend tons of money building a beautiful website. And they go, then it's not making me any money. It's not attracting any clients. Like the reason you create your business, you create a website, is it's the door to welcome in customers. And you got to get people to know that you're there. Dottie's going to share 5 hacks to help all of you. Girls, give me some hacks. I want more traffic.
Yes, don't we all want more traffic? Because more traffic means more leads.
So today we're going to be talking about these 5 areas. We're going to cover video marketing, Google My Business listings, reviews, social media, and search engine optimization. That's a lot to cover in the next 30 minutes.
It is.
That's why you want to go to askdotty.com to continue working with Dotty. So let's dive in and talk about video marketing. We hear you got to have video, blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot of challenges that people or obstacles people put up about that. So what's the tips about video marketing?
The biggest obstacle that I have seen people put up is the fact that they do not want to be talking on video. They're afraid of a million things. It could be a bad hair day. It could be something that simple. But the
I'm
reality
not
is,
having a great hair day. Yeah.
the reality is you just have to do it. And the more you do it, you get over that fear. I actually had a party for my clients at my 10-year. And I asked some specific ones to come out and give video testimonials. And I hired a videographer, did the whole thing, came out with some great testimonial videos, which I've used for all these years. And at the end, he said, Dotty, why don't you do an introduction video? Because I didn't have one on my website. And I thought, you know what? It'd been a hot, sweaty, long day. I was wearing sundress that looked like a bathing suit in the video. And it's just like all these things. I just wasn't prepared and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, I'm just going to do it. I did it. I hated the video. Absolutely hated it for a million reasons. But I put it up on my website. The very next day, I got a customer from that video. I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? And I always ask people when they call me, why did you call me? Or how did you hear from me? Stuff like that. And what the person said was, I've just watched your video on your website and you are so relatable. And I'm thinking, it looked like I just got drug off the beach. My hair was a mess. I didn't have any idea what I was going to say. All the excuses that everybody uses that I hear, I had. Did it anyway. That video got me more customers than any other one single thing that I've ever done.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And you just had to get over yourself.
I
And,
left that thing
and
there for 5-ish years. I just redid one last year, I think, that I replaced it with.
yeah.
But yeah.
So one of the other obstacles I see that gets in the way of people putting video out there. So we talked about with video marketing, you want to look good, you want to be your best, right? And then the second thing is it a good enough quality? Do I use my phone? Do I need to hire a videographer? Do I need better lighting? What kind of tips can you give us to make that process easier?
If you have a modern day smartphone, that's all you need. The quality of those are just fine. You will need a way to turn it on and off without touching it and all of that, because then you got to edit that out, which adds another step of technology. My phone, I have it set to where I can say the word capture and it'll just start. A feature of new phones. If you guys haven't looked into that and you have a new phone, there's a cool feature you can turn on and tell it what word you want. You say that word and it gives you like a 3-second delay or something like that. And then it just starts. Yeah.
Wow. Is that an iPhone or an Android?
I have an Android. I'm
Okay.
assuming iPhone does the same thing. I don't know.
All right. So that was a great hack right there.
Yeah.
So you don't have to edit when you push the button.
And use a tripod because this
use a
gets
tripod.
old. But yeah,
Yes.
you have You literally have everything you need. On the short little videos I put out through Facebook Live and through that type of stuff, I have over 200 of them out there. I use window
Oh,
light. I literally stand in front of my window. I have my cell phone on tripod and
mhm,
I just record.
okay. And there's also a tripod you can purchase that has the start button like far away from the phone. Like they come, there's gadgets you can get to make that easy.
Yeah, I think they're Bluetooth.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. All right. So one last piece about video marketing, and then we're going to dive into some of the other areas to get more traffic. So you want to have video on your website. Let's remove the obstacles that might have gotten in your way before then. What about doing videos on your website? Do you also need to give like a transcription so that it's search engine optimized and Google can read the keywords? Hopefully, I'm not going too deep and techie right now.
Yes. Yes. I transcribe almost all of my videos. The older ones I haven't gotten back to yet. But I use a program called Zubtitle.
Can you tell me the
It's
name of it again? I can.
Zubtitle, Zubtitle. You upload your video. It uses artificial intelligence to go through and create all the captions. You can do an edit so that you can fix any little errors, like they always spell my name wrong and that type of thing. But here is a super cool thing. Once all that's done, it puts it on the video. You can actually adjust your video to be square, horizontal, or vertical. So you can create one video and use it in all the different places without having to reshoot. You thought, oh man, I want to put this in something that only takes vertical. You can actually use this program to do that instead of re-recording it because that
Fantastic.
saves a ton of time. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it gives
Okay,
you the
good.
transcript in a text, in a TXT file, so that
Mhm.
you can copy and make it a blog post, which I do quite often.
Excellent. All right, good. Yes. And we just put the title of that in the chat and also on Facebook. Title
Yep.
is what they can look for. So we covered video marketing. We dovetailed a little bit about search engine optimization. Do we want to talk about that now?
Every single one of these things has to do with search engine
Mhm.
optimization. And I want to say in video, if you were to do a search for like premium websites reviews, because a lot of people do that search before they call me, not only will you
Mhm.
see my website, but you'll see my Google My Business account, which is probably the next thing we'll talk about. But you'll also see a lot of the videos that I have that are the review videos that I have in YouTube pop up. So doing video gives you more chances to come up for a search term if you have a video for that term when someone types it in. And it will come up independent of your actual website. In the organics, they always say you want to be on the first page, 1 through 10. There's some search terms where I have like 5 or 6 of those spots, and they're all from different things that I'm doing online.
On the first page. You're
Yeah,
showing up on the first page. Now, do those videos need to be on YouTube, on they are on your website?
they're
Like,
both.
how did they? Okay,
I
let's talk
always
about
put
that
them
a
on
little bit
YouTube because YouTube videos rank well in Google because
because they
Google
own
owns
each
YouTube.
the same company. Okay, let's talk about Google My Business because I was under the mistaken impression that Google had tried to create its own thing like Facebook or,
That was Google
but
Plus.
then Google Plus. All right. So I was confusing Google Plus and Google My Business. Can you let
Yeah,
somebody else
totally different
be
things.
confused about that? Okay.
Yep. So Google Plus doesn't exist anymore. Like you said, they tried to do a social media platform and it bombed. So it's gone. But Google My Business is the only access a business has to get into Google Maps. So if you want your listing in Google Maps, and every single business owner wants that, there's a million reasons why.
If you want to show up on Google Maps, and you do, like, why did you not? And I have some questions, but continue.
Okay. So that's the only way you can actually get in there. It's the only way that you can get Google reviews. And it is the only way that you're going to have the awesome ability, especially on mobile searches, for people to know everything about you as far as why they would want to call you before they ever go to your website. My other half is a contractor, an electrical contractor. He doesn't have a website. He's never allowed me to make him one. He doesn't want one. He gets a ton of calls from his Google My Business account, and he doesn't even have a website. They're equally as important as getting a website.
Let me just say one of the many things I just heard is even if you don't have a website, claim your Google My Business.
Yes,
That was
definitely.
really good.
Yes.
Has me thinking of my brother-in-law, wondering if he's got one because she's the same way. He doesn't have a website or anything. Now, what about if you're not geographic, like a brick and mortar
Mhm.
storefront? For example, we're a global company. And to show up on the map, I guess it would be where our office is.
You can put in an address, but if when you start your account, they ask you, do you serve people at their locations or do people come to you? And if you check that you serve people at their locations, then you become what's called a service area business. And those businesses don't have their actual address published, but
Okay.
they can still get an account.
Okay. So those are the two choices. The people
Mhm.
come to you or do you go to them? So if you're an online business, you want to pick you go to people.
Correct. Become a service
Okay.
area business.
Yeah, let me tell you, I would have been confused had you not given me that quiz.
Yay.
That was
Now you're
really
clear,
good.
right?
Yes, I am. I am. And I just realized we have Women's Prosperity Network on Google My Business, and I need to check and update it. I also need to do it for my other business that I have,
Yes. I have two,
which will be
one for Ask Dotty and one for premium website.
perfect. And it just lets you show up more too. Okay.
Yes.
Love it. All right. Isn't she brilliant? Let's hear some praise and appreciation for this woman. So much good stuff. And we're going to open up for questions in about another 10 or 15 minutes. So keep those questions. You can put them in the chat, and I will also be sure to open up your line. So we've covered some pieces about video marketing. We've talked about Google My Business. Let's talk about reviews.
Reviews are so important. The reason that my other half gets so much calls, like he probably gets 3 to 5 a day, is
Mm,
because he has reviews in Google. There's no other reason other than that. And reviews make you show up higher in maps. And the threshold is 10. So until you get 10, it's not really going to matter too much. But once you get over 10, then you start getting preferential treatment, I will say, from
mm,
maps. There is no other magic way to show up higher. And the reason you want to show up high in maps is most searches these days are done on cell phones. And
yeah.
if you've ever noticed when you're searching for something on your cell phone, the first thing is Google Maps if they have an account. And then under that, you'll see the organic listings. But in Google Maps, if you're the first two, sometimes three, but definitely two, then you're going to be front and center on that search for that
Mm,
person. And if you have your Google account filled out properly, they can actually get all of the services you do, what you offer. They'll see your reviews. They'll have your phone number right there. They can go to your website. But I've discovered most people that find me that way, they don't go to my website. They call me first. And I can tell by the questions I ask them when I'm
mhm.
talking to them.
So I heard in that many golden nuggets. You want to get 10 reviews. You want to have that in there. You're going to show up in people's searches because Google Maps is one of the first things that shows up. Let's use Google to as much advantage as we possibly can. And I
Because it's
also heard
free.
it's free. They want you there so they can put ads in front of you, right?
There is that.
Yeah, which is fine because I buy things. Anyway, the Google setup, when you set up your listing, you said if you have it set up properly, do you offer any kind of in-depth training, like where you walk us through how to set up our
I do.
Google account?
Yeah, it's part of my Ask Dotty membership site. I have a
Mhm.
course on there called Google My Business Made Easy. And I walk
Oh,
you
I want
through
that.
on video how to do everything. I give you even a template for creating your Google My Business description. So yes, I make it easy for
Beautiful.
you.
Yeah, and that's what she's all about is giving us these hacks so we can use the tools available to us to go ahead and bring in more clients and customers, get that traffic flowing. All right, good. So inside of your membership, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, you have a training on Google My Business. Let's talk about reviews from the perspective of how do we get people to give us reviews?
Oh, the easiest way is that we ask. So I actually have a campaign set up within my CRM for asking for reviews. And when I complete a website, I put them into that campaign and then they get some email messages around that. That's one way to do it. Another
Oh,
way that I've
beautiful.
done it is I have called people because they're my clients. I know who they
You have
are.
relationship.
Yeah, I call them up, check in how they're doing, find out whatever they want to say, and then I ask them for a review. The other thing about asking is Google's not the only place. There's a lot of places you can leave reviews. Some industries have very industry specific, like if you're a contractor, there's Angie and there's Home Advisor and all these other places. So use what's best for you in your business in addition to Google and meet people where they are. So in the emails that I send out, I list them. I have three. I do Google and then I list Facebook. And then I say,
Mhm.
and if you want to just send me a review, email me a review, I will put it on my website. And I
Beautiful.
put them in that order on purpose because I want Google. And if I don't get Google, I want Facebook because that I can share out through the network. And
Mhm.
then as a last resort, leave me one on my website or give me one and I'll put it on my website. Meet people where they are.
Beautiful. Do you give a template for writing the testimonial or you just let them write whatever they want, the review?
So in the email that I send out, I have, I think, 3 or 4 questions. Like one of them is, how did you find me? Why did you choose to use me? Questions like that to get them thinking. But that's as far as I go as far as a template because I don't want them all to look the same.
But you give them the prompt to get them thinking. I love that. And the
Yeah.
reason I brought that up is so many people say, she said she would send me a testimonial, or they said they would write a review, but then they don't. And that is simply because people are so busy and writing a review or giving a testimonial is a different thinking process
Mhm.
than running their business on a day-to-day basis. So by giving them some questions to get their juices flowing, you're making it easy for them to do. Love that.
Yep. And the
Awesome.
other
All right.
thing
So,
about that,
mhm.
Nancy, when you get one, you want to be sure to respond. Even to all reviews, you want to respond. And specifically, and this is again just a little bit of marketing, don't just say thank you for the review because that's a waste of your response. If you know these people, and most of us are service industry businesses, so we know who they are. We know what we did for them. We know something that makes whatever we did unique for that person. Mention those things in your response because those keywords will get picked up in the search engine and they're really important
Ah,
for you.
okay.
Yeah.
Really
So
good on that.
nothing generic.
I'm curious, inside of your training, do you also offer something on reviews?
I actually have a master class and the topic is all about reviews, and that is this September 30th. So this month, the master
Mhm.
class is on all about reviews.
Awesome. So we want to stay with Dottie and we're going to talk about the membership in about 2 more minutes. I just want to make sure that I'm going to ask you this about reviews. I didn't even realize until about maybe a year ago, maybe two, that Facebook has a section for reviews and they call it recommendations, right?
They do now. They used to call it reviews. Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that's attached to business pages.
That's what I was going to ask you to talk about. So my personal page isn't going to have that, my
No,
personal profile.
no, you have to have a business page for that to show up for you. But
Okay.
the cool thing
Let's
about
talk.
that is
Mhm.
that you can share those reviews on your personal profile. You can share them just like you do any post.
Fantastic. And what about the Facebook reviews and recommendations? And does that do anything to help drive traffic to your website, or it's all driven from the page? Can you talk a little bit about business pages combined with all of that and how that drives traffic to your website?
So business pages are public and Facebook profiles are private as far as a search engine is concerned. So anything you're doing on your Facebook profile, your personal profile, it just stays within Facebook. Anything that you do on your Facebook business page not only stays within Facebook, but it also can get listed in search results when someone's searching.
Oh,
If you've done a post on a specific topic that they're looking for, then those posts can come up as a search result. I usually post, if it's business related, I'll originate it from one of my two business pages, either the premium websites or Ask Dotty. And then I share it to my profile from there. And I share it to groups in different places within Facebook from my business page.
okay, good. Great tips. What about groups? Or do they stay just on Facebook, or do they get picked up in search engines potentially?
It depends on how you have your group settings. If you have it open to the public, I believe that they get ranked just like pages as far as search engines go. However, I've never seen one actually show up in a search engine. So I don't know if they have
Okay.
some sort of a block on that or not.
What else about social media did you want to share with us today?
So I want to say there's so many options out there, and there isn't any
Hmm.
one that's better than any other one, but you want to choose one, first of all, just one. And until you're really good at it, you don't need to worry about adding another one. But choose one where your potential clients already live and then understand and use that platform. If you're a B2B, you probably have more clients on LinkedIn than you do on Facebook or Instagram. If you're a
Hmm.
B2C, you probably have more clients on Facebook. If your age group is 40 and under and you're a B2C, Instagram might be a better choice for you.
Hmm.
I
Or
notice on my
TikTok, right?
Facebook, my age group is 55 and over. Not saying that everybody is that age, but most of the people that follow my page are 55 and up. So there's different parameters. Just get good at one. And then if you want to add another one after you're good at one, go ahead and do that because everyone has a slight little learning curve.
Yeah, beautiful. So start by picking one and get your traction there, build the engagement. And I'm going to throw in as a tip, let's remember it's social
Yeah.
media. Let's remember that it's about meeting people. I think all too often people forget that these platforms on social media, particularly LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram to a degree, they're designed for you to be social and connect with other people. And I like to equate it to going to a networking event. So if you walked into a room, a networking event, your Chamber of Commerce, BNI, Women's Prosperity Network, you come to that event and all you're doing is saying, buy my thing. You're not really going to sell that much. So if you do that on social media, you're not building connections and true relationships. Go ahead. Yeah, I saw you
Yeah.
smile.
Something came to mind. I just want to mention this because I'm an introvert. I don't know how many people here are, but going to in person networking events for me is very stressful and it's hard. I forced myself to do it. But I want to say, once I started putting videos out on a regular basis through social media and on my website, and I would email them out. At one point, for 2 years, I did a video a week and emailed them out. So when I did that, it became super easy to go to these highly stressful networking events because people felt like they knew me and they would come up and they would talk to me about whatever video they'd most
Beautiful.
recently watched. And they would talk to me as if I knew them as well, which I didn't. Some I didn't. But it was really easy to go to these events and get traction and meet people because of those videos.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. I'm thinking to myself now, isn't it true that sometimes if you watch a TV series, like the TV show Friends, which I've been watching since it was on, like they're my friends. If I saw them in person, I would say, "What? How you doing?" Yeah.
Exactly.
Through video, you would get to know them. So you want to use your video marketing to create that feeling
Mhm.
for the people that you're connecting with in person and online. Beautiful. All right, we're going to open up for questions. And before we do that, I see Roz has her hand up. You can raise your hand. And Dottie, let's talk about what you provide at AskDottie.com. I'm already seeing that you provide so much. And tell us about the membership, what's available to everybody. And
Sure. So the website is all about educating business owners in an easy way. I have courses on there that you can buy individually, and I have a membership. In that
whoa, how much is this membership to get training on putting up reviews, Google My Business, social media, video marketing?
currently I have 3 big courses in there. One is on Google My
Hmm.
Business. One is called Blogging Made Easy. So if you want to add blogging into your mix, you can do that with that course. And then the other one is how to use videos in social media. So those are the
Love
3
it.
courses on there currently. And then I have a masterclass every month. And it's like this. It's a Zoom and you come on. It's a half an hour of teaching around whatever the topic is, and then a half an hour of Q&A for anybody that attends. And it's free for all of my members.
Roz, your line is open.
Daddy,
Love
I
you,
want to
Roz.
I want to ask this question because I have a friend that's on and she's texting me and she asked about the premium websites and I did mention and you correct me because when we were in the room, you do the mothership of WordPress, correct?
Yes.
To
Yes,
create
I'm a WordPress
websites.
designer.
Awesome.
Nancy,
All right, let's go ahead and open up for Aurelia.
Yes. I have two quick questions. One, if I've already done Google My Business and put in a physical address, now I did check off where I'm online. Does that mean that physical address is deleted or done away with or what, Dottie?
No, it doesn't. My first question is, do you really want it gone? Does it matter to you? I have my physical address on there because when I started, we didn't have the option. And I have helped a few customers remove that address from Google, but I will say that their performance went down a little bit when they did that. And
Okay.
so then they have to do other things to build it up. So
I'll
if
leave
it's not a huge deal to you,
it
I would
on.
just leave it.
Okay. The other question is on Facebook. Someone did a completely fake review on me that has never used my services. How do I get that deleted?
If it was on Google, you actually have a path to
No, it was on
complain.
Facebook.
It's on
Yeah.
Facebook. You can complain, but they won't do anything. Really, what you do is you respond to the review in a nice way and just point out that that person hasn't used my services and you're not exactly sure why she's leaving a review or something like that. I've not seen them actually take action on that. In
Okay.
both Google and Yelp, if that happens,
They
then
do.
they have a path where you can complain. And if it violates their terms of service, which that does, then they will remove it.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and we're going to open up for Deanna. She was talking about a local guide on Google. What is that? I do reviews as a local guide on Google just for fun. Do you know what that is?
Yes, I'm a local guide. I think I'm a level
What does
7.
that mean?
It means that you are a trusted reviewer. So if you go out and leave reviews for companies, then you can become a local guide. And I'm trying to remember how, I think initially, because I am an active reviewer, they sent me an invite for that. I'd have to Google it to find out how to actually apply now. But if you leave reviews quite often, then if you have a local guide status, then your reviews get priority and get seen more than other people's reviews.
Let's go ahead. Deborah Morrison, who introduced me to Dottie, is with us right now. Good morning. Good morning, Nancy and Dottie. Yes, I believe in Dottie so thoroughly. I've used her for, oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. I'm dating us, Dottie, but it could be 20 years. Who knows? She's the bee's knees, and she over delivers, which is just always a beautiful attribute of an entrepreneur. So I recommend Dottie highly, and she's doing my website as we speak.
And
my
Deborah and I met initially through LinkedIn.
Yeah. Nice. On this Google, I never really liked it because we had clients in 28 states, as I do still, not in 28 anymore. But the attribute that you're mentioning, or the characteristic that you're mentioning that your partner uses, and he gets calls or leads 3 or so a day because people leave him reviews. That's good if you're an electrician and running around 6 local towns. But if you're not, when you code yourself as not one specific address, do you also have that option for those reviews, Dottie? Because the reviews sounded to me a little local.
Yes, you have the option for reviews. You just have to have a Google My Business account. It doesn't matter what type as far as the
Okay.
address goes. But yes, collect reviews. Because I'm basically a international business. I've got customers in Canada. I can get reviews from anywhere.
Okay, what's the setting? Is there a particular setting we have to elect?
No, you just need to have a Google My Business account.
And then choose that you go to them.
Oh, as far as
you.
as far as the address setting, yes, you want to set that you're a service area business. So you go to
Right.
them instead of them coming to you. But as far as the rest of the account goes, all the stuff is still there. So you can get reviews on that.
Thanks so much. Appreciate all your tips. They've been wonderful. The live masterclass that you do, what's the date and time of that monthly event?
It's the last Thursday of every month with a few exceptions. November, it'll be the third one because that's Thanksgiving, the last Thursday. And it's at 1:00 Pacific, 4:00 Eastern.
Laura Barker has a question.
I was just typing this in the chat, and I'm going to finish that in a minute. But first, the value that you provide in the training as a founding member, I joined a couple months ago. And guys, I just have to say, I make it a point just to schedule into my regular life time with Dottie, right? Because she is always keeping me up to speed, even if I can't make the live training, which is, of course, the best. But just what she puts up there regularly, she is constantly adding content for us. And that will lay the foundation for what you need from a tech side, as well as keeping you up to speed. But one of the things I was so excited and interested about that you mentioned today was at the very beginning of the call, this subtitle thing, and then the capturing on the phone. Can you just say one more time kind of what that is?
Sure. It is a website where you can upload a video, and their artificial intelligence will go through the video and transcribe the sound and put it into captions on your video. And then you can go in and edit them for however you want that to happen. We like punctuation, spelling, that type of thing.
Wow.
And you can use that, and you can take that program and it can make your video horizontal, square, or vertical. So you got one video that you can use for any format, any social media platform, because they all have slightly different formats of what they want for videos.
Boy, they sure do. And I've run into that. So this is like a nugget for me that I'm going to start using today. And just thank you for all the tips today, Dottie.
You're
and all
welcome, Laura.
extremely valuable.
Love it. And how beautifully the two things that you do, Laura, and Dottie does play together, because Laura Barker is a LinkedIn expert. And I see that Denny Gillespie, when she heard that Dottie and Deborah met on LinkedIn, a 15-year relationship, right? Then it was like, how do you meet through LinkedIn? Is it possible to do that without spending a ton more time? Which, so Laura Barker's your girl for LinkedIn for sure.
And yeah, Dottie and I work really well together because she's got
Yeah.
so much all of the tech side. And then you can take that knowledge and work it into the LinkedIn, all those videos she's talking about creating and putting them on social media. Perfect place to put them on LinkedIn. Absolutely. Thank you for the
Beautiful.
shout out.
I believe Vanetta has her hand up. Vanetta, did you want to ask a question of Dottie?
Hi, good morning, everyone, and thank you for calling on me. Dottie, thank you so much. And I veered a little bit and went to your site. So I'm actually registering to
Yay.
join the I have a nonprofit that it's not my nonprofit, but I'm the president of the nonprofit. And so do you do corporate websites and
I
and so
do.
forth? Okay.
Yeah. That website is premiumwebsites.net. If you want to check it out and see, I've got portfolios on there of past sites I've done and that type of thing.